Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we are going to see about medical coding tips and tricks for the beginners. So if you are a fresh graduate, like recently passed your graduation, and if you are looking for an enthusiastic job profile or an interesting job profile, you can surely choose medical coding. I'll give you a few tips, okay? Are you new to medical coding, struggling to decode those complex terms and codes? In this video, I'm sharing 10 essential tips and tricks to make your medical coding journey easier. Like most of us, after completing our graduation, we have a very less knowledge. Like by learning anatomy and physiology only you will become a medical coder, not like that. Okay, so the key objectives which we are going to discuss here is, first of all, you should know about the medical terminology and anatomy, and you should be familiarized with your code books, and you have to understand the guidelines. You have to implement those guidelines with real time scenarios. Avoid common mistakes, stay updated with the guidelines, and you should know how to use the tools as well as how to manage the time effectively. So tip 1 is learn medical coding terminology and anatomy. So if you are a non-life science graduate, mostly life science graduate, they will be familiar with all the medical terms and all. And if you are a non-life science graduate who is passionately looking for medical coding, first and foremost thing what you have to learn is medical terminology as well as anatomy. For this, you can take help of YouTube. And second tip is you should be very familiarize yourself with code books. As you all know, we have ICD-10 CPT and HCPCS code book for medical coding. ICD-10 mainly deals with the diagnosis coding, CPT is for procedure, and HCPCS lead with supplies and equipment. So you should know how to use these code books, then only you can properly assign the codes. Tip 3 is understanding coding guidelines. So when we start with medical coding training, we will be teaching you this ICD-10 guidelines, which is mainly for this diagnosis coding. So in ICD-10 guidelines, we have totally 21 chapters, and you should be very clear with all those guidelines. Then only you can call yourself as a coder. Tip 4 is practice with real world scenarios. Like whatever guidelines you're studying during your session, you have to practice questions by implementing those guidelines in that scenarios. Then only you will know like where to assign this primary code, where to assign the secondary code by using this guideline. And then tip 5 is avoid common coding mistakes. The common coding mistakes mainly we won't read the documentation properly. In this case, mainly to avoid errors, you have to read the documentation once or twice and highlight the important things, and then you have to choose the code by implementing your guidelines. This is applicable for ICD, CPT as well as HCPCS. Tip 6 is stay updated on the guidelines. It is very much important. Like every year, October 1st, the guidelines will be updated. So make sure every year you're going through that updated guidelines, like understanding what are the changes, what all things are added, everything you should go through. Tip 7 is you should know about using the tools and resources. Like properly for encoders, we have AAPC Codify, 3M encoder or find a code. All these things help you to find out the codes easily. Like when you're starting to work, your company will familiarize yourself with this coding applications. And tip 8 is manage time very effectively. So define a daily or weekly target for studying, practice or work. So and then use a time blocking method. Allocate specific blocks of time for coding, reviewing guidelines and breaks. Example, 30 minutes for CPT, 30 minutes for ICD, following 10 minutes for review, like that. And then prioritize highly impact topics, so that it will be more helpful for you to clear the CPC exam. The time management is very much essential for CPC. Tip 9 is focus on compliance. So here, compliance is a cornerstone of medical coding. Whether you are coding for a hospital, clinic, or preparing for a certification, focusing on compliance ensure accuracy, ethical practice, and better career growth. Tip 10 is seek support and mentorship. Learning medical coding doesn't have to be a solo journey. One of the most valuable resources for beginner is seeking guidance from experienced coders and mentors. So being a beginner, you have to always seek your training from a mentor. Then they can properly guide you, like they can help you to understand everything. So that's all about today's topic. Hope so you have enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for your attention and for your time. So for more updates, please do watch Learn with Danya. If you haven't subscribed my channel, please do subscribe and keep. And then I'll be adding ICD questions also.